Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another playthrough of Spirit Island. Today we're going to be playing with Keeper of the Forbidden Wilds, who came with the Branching Claw expansion. And we're going up against Sweden, level 4. So the initial explorer was into the wetlands, and as part of level 4 we have to discard the top card of the invader deck and add a town to that terrain with the fewest invaders. And the card we discarded was the jungle, so we added the town into land number 6, which is also the land which I start with presence and a wilds token. So I think for turn 1 I'm going to choose growth option 2 and growth option 3. So I'll gain the power card first before placing the presence. And the ones we get are treacherous waterways, teeming rivers, portents of disaster, and bat scout for raids by darkness. So I think the elements I'm really looking for are probably sun, plant and fire. And I think out of these cards I'm probably going to want to choose one of these two. I do already have a blight removal card with regrow from roots as the unique power, but I think for this, given it has both sun and plant, I'm probably going to take teeming rivers. And the presence I'm going to place is off the top track. I'm going to place it, I can only place it in a land with wilds or my presence, so I have to place it there. There's no Dahan, so his special rule doesn't kick in. And for this turn I'm going to play, well, I also get 1 energy from growth option 3 and then another 2 energy. And I'm going to play Boon of Growing Power. Pay 1 for that. It's a slow power, so that resolves later. I have 2 sun and 1 plant, so I do activate the first 2 tiers of spreading wilds. Is an 8-2. We're move on to the events. We don't resolve it. We're building in the wetlands, so this gets a town and this gets a town, and we are exploring into the mountains, so this gets 1 and this also gets 1. Invader cards advance then, and we move on to the slow power phase. So, in terms of what do I want to do here, I think I will use Spreading Wilds. I can't do that now. Because I was going to target that, but I can't use Blight, and I'm not within range 1 of that. So let's draw a minor. With Boon of Growing Power and see what we get. And the cards we get are Elemental Boon, Dry Wood Explodes in Smouldering Splinters, Call to Isolation, and Cycles of Time and Tide. I think, given I want to be able to place 2 presents next turn, I will take Call to Isolation, which is a 0 cost. It does have the sun that we need, so I'll keep that one. And then for this innate, I think, so we have 2 sun, but we cannot push any explorers using it. So we can target, I think we can target, let's target this land for level 2. Target land has no explorers, add 1 wilds. So we'll add a wilds there, and then that's the end of the slow phase. And we move on to time passes, and then the next turn. And for this turn I'm going to choose growth option 3. I'll take 1 energy and place 1 presence in this land with wilds. And then I'm going to pay 3 energy to gain a power card and place another presence. So I'll take the power card first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get Promises of Protection, Visions of Fiery Doom, Veil the Night's Hunt, and Pact of the Joined Hunt. I think for this one, I'm probably going to want something to prevent a build in one of those mountains. And for that, I think I'll probably choose Visions of Fiery Doom. I can place a presence up to 3 away, and I could place it there because I can't place it there because it has blight. But if I place it there, I can push that explorer out of land number 8. So I think that's what I'm going to take. I'll take Visions of Fiery Doom. And I will place it from the bottom track there. We will get 4 energy, so 3 and 4. And I think I'm going to play Visions of Fiery Doom for 1. And I'll play Call to Isolation, which is 0 cost. So we will have 2 sun, but we will not have a plant, unfortunately. So we will only meet level 1 of Spreading Wilds. So Call to Isolation, I'm going to target land number 1 and push 1 town per Dahan. So I'm going to push that in there. I'll leave that there because when it ravages, it will get cleared up by the Dahan in there, unless the event cards hurt us by increasing the damage. For this, I'm going to do 1 fear, targeting this land. 1 fear and push the explorer in here. And that is the fast power phase over with. And we move on to the events. The event is Fortune Seekers. Healthy Island. The next explorer card matches all lands without town, cities, instead of the printed land type. Ouch. Okay. Grim Toll, and each board choose a land with disease. In that land, 2 damage to invaders and 2 damage to Dahan. That's actually okay for us. So 2 damage to the town. We generate another fear. 2 damage to the Dahan. So each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among its lands either reclaims 1 power card or regains a unique power it previously forgot. So we do have 2 Dahan in our lands. So we can... we will just reclaim this. Yeah. So Ravage then. Ravaging in land number 1. Retaliates. The Dahan are injured. Ravaging there gets a blight, but it is only doing 3 plus 1 is 4, so it does not get the additional blight because it doesn't do at least 6 damage. We're building in the mountains, nothing to build there. We're getting a town in land number 5, and we are exploring into the wetlands, but because of the event, we ignore any escalation on it, and it matches all lands without towns, cities. So we're getting 1 in the wetlands there. There's a city, town, city, town, 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 and we get 1 in the mountain as well. So invader cards advance. So we're ravaging in the mountain next. So we have level 1 of Spreading Wilds, and I think I will use that in if I target the wetland, I can prevent that build. If I target I think it's probably going to make sense to target this, so we will push that because we have 2 suns in there. And that is the end of the slow power phase. So time passes, we move on, and we have 2 cards in our discard because we were able to reclaim that from the event. So for this turn, I think what I'm going to do is pay 3 energy, taking growth option number 4 to gain a power card. I'll go for a minor. Probably going to go Blighted Island this turn unless we get something useful. So Guardian Serpents, Savage Maw Beasts, Swarming Wasps, and Gift of Power. None of those are going to stop us going blighted island this turn, unfortunately. So I think the one I will take is... I will take savage maw beasts. Yeah, let's try that. And for this turn, I think, well, I'll place one presence first. So in a land without blight, I will place it here. And then I will also do growth option number 3. Well, yeah, I'll do growth option number 3. And I'll place that there as well. So for this turn, I think I'm going to play regrow from roots, hoping to target that land to take out the blight. And then I will also play towering wrath. So we get 5 from the energy track, 3, 4, 5. And we will use 3 and 1. We have no fast powers, but we have 2 sun, 1 fire, and 3 plant. 1, 2. Unfortunately, we can't meet the second level of that, but we can meet the first. So 2 sun, 3 plant. So we can actually do this power at +1 range. So yeah, let's sorry, that should have healed in the last time passes. So let's move on to the phosphates, or the event cards. And we get temporary truce. We are at fear level 1. In lands with the hand, 1 Dahan and 1 town city do not participate in ravage. They neither take nor deal damage. That's very good. That's very good. So that is only going to do 1 damage, and it's not going to blight. That's excellent. In each land with beast, 1 damage per beast. We will take that out. And then for each board, 1 fear if any Dahan are in lands with towns, cities. So we get 1 fear as well. Phew. So ravaging, nothing there. These do not participate, so nothing happens there. We're building in the wetlands, nothing there. This gets a city. And we then move on to the jungle. So we do the escalation effect. So after invaders explore, so we have to explore first. We explore there, and we do not explore there because there's a wilds. So the escalation effect does not apply there because there's no Dahan left. So we advance the invader cards. That was a very lucky event card for us, thankfully. So now we move on to the slow power phase. I think here, so we're going to use regrowth from roots to target this wetland. If there are 2 blight or fewer in target land, remove 1 blight. So we'll put that back in the card. That's that resolved. Towering wrath, we are going to do. We're going to target 1 land from where we have a sacred site. We'll target this land. 2 fear, so 1, you get a fear card, and the second fear. For each of your sacred site in or adjacent to, so we have 2. So we do 4 damage, taking the city out. That's another 2 fear. Destroy all Dahan, there are no Dahan. And then we have 2 sun, so push 1 explorer from target land per 2 sun we have. And it has to be in a land without blight. I will choose land number, doesn't matter, this land here, and I will push those there. Or we can only push 1, and then if target land has no, I won't do that then. I will push this in here. I can't do that either. I'll push this in here, and then we get a wiles. Yeah, let's do that. And then we also have the first level of this, so we can do 2 damage, destroy 1 Dahan, and we can do that. Actually, I will take that back, so I won't push that, and I won't add the wiles. That was in the wrong place anyway. I will first do this. I'll do 2 damage and take them out. There are no Dahan, and then I can target this, so push 1 up to 1 so I don't do anything, and then we add a wiles there. And that is all for the slow paraphase. So we move on. Time passes, nothing to heal, and we move on to the next round. For this turn, I think I'm going to take growth option 2 and gain a major. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we get Vengeance of the Dead, Poisoned Land, Wrap in Wings of Sunlight, and Storm Swath. I think because we're ravaging here, it's going to put down 2 blight unless I can defend it. So I think I'm going to take Wrap in Wings of Sunlight, and I will forget Savage Maw Beasts. So that's growth option 2, and then I'm going to do growth option 3 as well, which gives me 1 energy, and I'm going to place a presence. I will place this here. Oh, I can't. That's unfortunate. So it has to be in a land with wiles or where I have presence. So I will, I'll place it here, which activates my special rule, push all the hand from that land. So I will push these in to land number 1. Or no, I won't actually. I will push them into land number 6. I take 7 energy from the energy track. I'll play Wrapping Wings of Sunlight for 3, and I'll play Sacrosanct Wilderness for 2. And so for this, I'm going to target this land, push 2 Dahan. There are no Dahan to push. 2 damage per wiles, so that's 1 wiles, and we get a fear and another fear card. And that is that. And then for Wrapping Wings of Sunlight, I'm going to target this land, move up to 5 Dahan from this land, and defend 5. So that will prevent a double blight in land number 3 going down. Unfortunately, we don't have any fire, so we don't meet that. We do have 2 plant and 3 sun, so we meet level 1 once and level 2. So we move on to the event phase. Fear, terror level 1. Yep. During the explore step, invaders explore a +1 distance. Okay. Grim Toll. On each board, choose a land with disease. In that land, do 2 damage to invaders and 2 damage to Dahan. So that goes down to 1. And then 1 fear per land with invaders where Dahan outnumber towns, cities. Okay, so we don't have any, unfortunately. That's a wash. And then terror level 1, fear cards are each player removes 1 explorer from an inland land, so I will remove that. And then we are in each land defend 1 per Dahan. That is good. So we are now up to 7. Excellent card for us. And then we move on to the ravage step. And we are ravaging in the wetlands, nothing there. We're defended for 7. They are doing 8 because of Sweden's level 3, so 5, 6, 7, 8. So no blight goes down. The Dahan retaliate for 4. So we do 3, which gives us 2 fear, and then 1. We are building in the jungle, so this does not build the disease. This gets a city, and we are exploring into the mountains. So during the explore step, invaders explore a +1 distance. That's unfortunate. So this gets 1 and this gets 1, and the escalation is means that this Dahan goes away and gets replaced by a town. So that's the end of the invader phase. We advance the invader cards and we move on to the slow power phase. So we have 2 sun and 2 plant. So we have push 1 explorer from here. I will push it into here. Into here. And then we can also add 1 wiles. And that's the end of the slow power phase. And we move on to time passes. The invaders heal. And we remove the defend on land number 3. And for this turn, I'm going to pay 3 to gain a power card. I'm going to gain another major. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we get Pent-Up Calamity, Fire and Flood, transform to a murderous darkness and terrifying nightmares. I think here we're probably going to go with Pent-Up Calamity. We're ravaging in the jungle, so that can actually solve one of the ravages for us. And for that, I'm going to forget... probably want to forget... I will forget Boon of Growing Power. And then I'm also going to place this presence as part of this in this land. So it's to a land without blight. And then I'm also going to reclaim cards, so I get 1 energy. And I reclaim cards, and then I also get 7 from the present track, so 6, 7. And for this turn, I'm going to play Pent-Up Calamity for 3, and Rapid Wings of Sunlight for 3. Okay, so now we want to use Rapid Wings of Sunlight to target this land and move 2 Dahan in there, defending for 5. I will lose 1, but it will prevent a double blight going down. And then for this, I'm going to remove this Wiles, which generates 1 fear and does 3 damage, which takes that city out, which generates another 2 fear. So that's 1 and 2. We have 2 suns. We have 2 plants and 1 fire. So we meet this, the level 1 of innate number 1. And we meet level 1 and level 2 of innate number 2. So still healthy, we move on to the events. So event is stage 2. In the single land with the most invaders, push 1 explorer town to an adjacent land, which is this one. I will push him in. Yeah, I'll push him in there. Beast Prowl. Each beast generates 1 fear if invaders are present and moves to an adjacent land if not, so we get another fear. On each board, push 2 Dahan from a land with blight to a land without blight. There are no Dahan in lands with blight, so that does not apply. Terror level 2. Each player removes 1 explorer and 1 town from a land with beasts, or 1 explorer from a land adjacent to beasts, so I will remove that. We're ravaging in... Actually, no, I won't push that in there. I will push him... I will push him in there. No, in there. So we're ravaging in the jungle. That's nothing. This is defended for 5. They're doing 8. So 1 Dahan dies and 1 is injured, and we get 1 blight. and lose 1 presence. This the hand retaliates and takes out the town, giving 1 fear. Mountains, nothing to build. We're getting a city in land number 5, and we are exploring into the coastal lands. So this gets 1, this gets 1, and this gets 1. Invader cards advance, and we move on to the slow power phase. So for the slow powers, I will remove that. I will. We have level 1 here, so 2 suns, 1 fire, and 2 plant. So 2 damage, destroy 1 to hand. I will do this damage. We'll do it here. And then we also have this, so push 1 explorer from a target land per 2 sun I have. So I will push this into here. And I can also add a wilds to that land. And that is the end of the slow power phase. So we move on. Time passes. The hand heals. There's no invaders to heal. And we move on to the next turn. And so for this turn, I think I'm going to choose growth option 2 and gain a major. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we get thickets erupt with every touch of breeze. I've never seen that card before. The wounded wild turns on its assailants. The jungle hungers, and flow like water, reach like air. I think for this, we are doing a pretty big ravage in land number 5. So I think I'm going to take this and remove it for the blight removal that it has. And for that, I'm going to forget. I think I'll forget. I will forget call to isolation. And so that's growth option 2. I'm going to do growth option 3 as well, which gives me 1 energy, and I'll place the presence here. And for this turn, I'm going to play thicket. Well, first we gain 7 energy, so 3, 3, and 7. We'll play thickets erupt for 3, towering wrath for 3, and I think I will play teeming rivers as well for 1. So we have 2 suns, 1 fire, and 4 plant. So we can actually meet the last level of that, and we can we meet all of the levels for that. So thickets erupt. We will target this land. It's 2 away from where I have a sacrosanct. It is in land. I will do 2 damage, which will 2 damage there, and we will remove 1 blight, putting that back in the card. And then we also meet the threshold. We have 4 plants. The threshold is 3. We do 1 fear, generating another fear card, and another 2 damage. So 1 gives us 2 fear, and then 1. And that's the end of the fast powers. Then we move on to the events. The event is bureaucrats adjust funding on each board with 9 or more town cities. That's not us. On each board with 3 or fewer town cities. So we have 1, 2, 3. Build cards cause 1 extra build action in the highest numbered matching land. This can affect invaders or a land without invaders. Okay, so it's going to be that. Terrifying beast, 2 fear per board with 2 or more beasts. That's not us. When invaders ravage, if the land has both the hand and presence, defend 5. Okay, so that is not us. Fear cards, terror level 2. We, on each board, remove one explorer town from a land with badlands, wilds, or Dahan. One explorer, I guess. That didn't really help. Ravaging in the mountains, nothing there. This gets a blight. It's doing 4 damage because the town does 3, so we don't put an additional blight. We're building in the coast, so as a reminder, we're build cards cause 1 extra build action in the highest numbered matching land. Nothing to build there. This gets a town. And then nothing in land number 3, but because of this it gets a town for the 1 extra build action. We're exploring into the mountain and jungle. So mountain, nothing in 8. Land number 5 gets 1. Jungle, this gets 1, and this gets 1. So that's the end of the invader phase. The invader cards advance. We're ravaging in the coastal lands next. We move on to the slow power phase. So for teeming rivers, I'm going to target this land, which is a mountain. If the target land has no blight, it does have a blight. If the target land has exactly 1 blight, remove it. So we'll remove that. That's that resolved. We're playing Towering Wrath. We do 2 fear, which generates another fear card for each sacred site. So I'm going to target this land, and I have 1, 2, which is 4 damage. So 2, generating another fear, 3, 4, and destroy all Dahan. There are no Dahan. And then we move on to the innates. So we have 2 sun, 1 fire, and 4 plant. So we can split this power's damage however desired between target land and another one of your lands. So for this, I'm going to target this land and do 2 damage, taking out the town. It does 1 fear. I won't split the power. And then we have 2 sun and 4 plant and 1 air. So we can push 1 explorer. So they're going mountain jungle next. I will push this explorer in there, and I will 2 damage per wild. Actually I won't. I will push this explorer in here. If target land has no explorers, add 1 wilds. Actually I won't then. I'll push this in here and add a wilds there. And that's the end of the slow power phase. So move on to time passes. Nothing to heal. And so we move on to the next turn. And for this turn, I think I'm going to reclaim cards and gain 1 energy. And I'm also going to place a presence, taking growth option 3, so we get another energy. Actually, I'll place it from this, and I'll place it in here. And I'm going to play Pent Up Calamity. Thickets erupt with every touch of breeze, and I think I will play Sacrosanct Wilderness. So we gain 7 from the energy track, so 3 and 3 is 6 and 7, so we'll play 3, 3 and another 2. And I'm going to use Sacrosanct Wilderness to target this land. I will add 1 wilds, which goes there. I will use Pent Up Calamity to target this land as well. I will remove 1 wilds, which generates a fear and does 3 damage, so 2 and 3, and that generates another fear and a fear card. And that's that over with. And then I will use Thickets Erupt to target this land, does 2 damage. Then either add 3 wilds or remove 1 blight. I'll remove a blight. And because I have 3 plant, I actually have 4. I do 1 more fear and another 2 damage, cleaning out that land. and that is the end of the fast power phase. So we have one building left, frustratingly. So I probably should have planned that a bit better, but let's see how we go. We move on to the events, and the events are stage 3. On each board, choose a land with towns, cities, add 1 blight there without cascading. Players may destroy 2 presents or Dahan in that land to prevent adding blight. So we have to add the blight, unfortunately. On each board, destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. There are none. And in each land with 3 or more Dahan, 2 damage, and defend 2. So that doesn't help. Terror level 2. We get panic. Each player adds 1 strife in a land with beasts, disease, or Dahan. So there is none. For the rest of this turn, invaders have -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. And then each player removes 2 explorers or 1 town from a land with Dahan, and there are none. That's annoying. So we're ravaging in the coast, nothing, nothing, nothing. Building in the mountains and jungle, so this gets a town. That doesn't get anything, nothing, and nothing. And we are exploring into the jungle and sand, so this, no explorer there. This gets an explorer. That gets an explorer. And nothing there. This should also, no, there is no escalation, sorry. Invader cards advance, and we move on to the slow power phase. I have 2 suns, 1 fire, and 2 plants. So I meet level 1 here, and I will 2 damage, destroy 1 Dahan, so I will do that 2 damage there. And then I have 2 sun and 4 plant, and 1 air, so I can push 1 explorer from target land, and for this I will push him in there, and then I can I will actually choose this land, and I will push him in there and add a wilds there. That's the end of the slow power phase. We move on to time passes. There is nothing to heal. I just realized I could have played a 4th card. Frustrating, but okay. We'll move on to the next turn and see what we can do. And I think for this turn I'm going to reclaim cards again and get 1 energy. I'll place a presence, using growth 3. And I'll place that in a present there. We get 1 energy for that. We get 3, 6, 7, and 8. I'll play those 3 again. We play 3, 3, and 2. I will target this land. It's 1 away from where I have presence and add a wilds. And then I will use Pent Up Calamity to remove that wilds, which does 1 fear, another fear card, and there's no cities on the board, so we have a terror level 3 victory. But okay, so it was a bit laboured there at the end, but we got there eventually. Yeah, Keeper is extremely powerful. I usually dislike playing against Sweden. I find them quite hard with some spirits, especially the escalation effect where you replace a Dahan with a town. But Keeper, once you get powered up with Keeper, he's just phenomenally powerful. And you can see there we finished with one major, 2 majors, and then like we were playing basically three majors. We had 3 majors in hand at the end. We were still able to play Towering Wrath. Sacrosanct Wilderness is a very powerful card as well, and we still have a bunch of energy left over. So yeah, hopefully that was useful or entertaining for you. I know I probably made some suboptimal plays, so let me know in the comments where I could have done anything better. But otherwise, I think I'll leave it there for today. The last fear card we generated was each player may remove up to 3 health worth of invaders from a land without cities. So that would have been very useful there, or there really. But yeah, other than that, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining. And yeah, I'll leave it there for today. Thank you.